Hey guys, this one's gonna be right from the heart, so unfortunately no preparation. It's just one of the things that was on my heart this morning, so I gotta share it. Now, people have been talking a long time about voter regret concerning loss of FEMA, or loss of power within FEMA, about credit card and fraudster tackling organizations, the regulatory system of the government being dismantled, about loss of social services, programs benefiting our farmers, our veterans, and our children. Now we've gotten a lot of pushback about these terrible deportation policies that have ripped away hundreds of thousands of lives, that have dismantled several communities. And it's troubling to know that these people were unaware to begin with, but it shouldn't be something to beat them down with, because that is the knee-jerk reaction every time we see these people actually getting what they voted for. You want to say, "Ha, I told you so." You want to say, "You deserve this because you voted for someone you knew would do this to somebody else." And though it's arguably very true, it's definitely not what we need. And I don't even think that anybody has the gall to say that anymore, just because if you're like me, political science scholar, very involved. I don't say it often, but these headlines, these terrifying headlines, these ridiculous, absurd headlines, I get to see them every single day. I should be a journalist with how much I actually know and how much I record, but haven't gotten there yet. You got the zero tolerance policy that takes children from their parents, thousands of children from their parents. It's only been 5 months. At the border, parents were prosecuted and the children were taken away from them as a deliberate deterrent. They publicly announced this, that they are stealing people's children and putting them in government custody, specifically to deter people from getting into the American-Mexico border. And Forbes itself was the news outlet that said that. That's crazy. Then you've got the fast-track deportations without due process, which are completely illegal and against the will of the United States Constitution and the Supreme Court. You got thousands of people being deported to active war zones like South Sudan, which is already under a do not travel warning due to war and rampant violence. They carried out in the middle of the night, and there was no opportunity to object. There is not ever any opportunity to object, because they keep throwing these people in danger. You've got the brutal foreign prisons and the military detention because of that stupid Aliens Enemies Act that was kind of thrown out but can't really be stopped because the judicial branch cannot enforce, they just interpret laws. The judicial branch can throw everything at the executive branch, but it's the executive branch that enforces the laws of the United States. So if the executive branch is not going to listen to them, the law will not be enforced. We've seen that copious times. What is it, 130 executive orders that have been slapped down because they were illegal? And what exactly is happening? They're still going through. They're still hurting people en masse. It's disgusting. But these people being sent to Guantanamo Bay, even though they had protected status and asylum claims, they're targeting people who are actively going through the processes, who have court dates and dates to visit their immigration lawyers, and then they're waiting there for them to take them out of the country. It is the most disgusting. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm laughing because if I don't laugh, then it's going to be going to be something worse that I don't want other people to see. Abusive detention conditions are an understatement. These people who are being sent to these prisons, these torture camps, these concentration camps, especially in El Salvador, they are being beaten, they are being denied food, they are being shoved into cells like sardines, and they've just been there. They've just existed there for months, regardless of their immigration status, regardless of what they've actually done, because nobody knows what they've done, which is the whole point. That's why they don't want due process for them. Because then they'd actually have to admit to their own faults. Indiscriminate raids in sensitive locations, that's a whole new story. Because they're raiding barbershops, because they're raiding elementary schools and stealing the children. For some godforsaken reason, this administration has a knack, has a preference. They have an affinity for taking people's kids and using them as bait to get the parents to come. They're going on farms and not just government sites, but construction sites. And they are just kidnapping people. But they've been doing this for 5 months. Ever since day one, they've been kidnapping people. Maybe not literally, because on day one they weren't allowed to kidnap people yet. They had to set up the panels, they had to set up the task forces to kill people, their little Gestapo. Then you got the asylum and refugee protections that were shut down for tens of thousands. Yes, the judges said that you can't. The judges told him that he couldn't do it, but he's going to deport them anyway. We've already had several thousand legal immigrants and asylum seekers being taken out of the country. It's not going to be something that slows down just because the court said so. Why? Because that's not how Trump works. I don't really know what's being expected at this point. Mass expansion of detention and dehumanization because of the Department of Homeland Security's desire to deport 1,200 people a day, I believe. That's their goal. The reason that they're going to such extreme measures is because they want to decrease the United States population by about 10%, I believe. That's old news. That is an old theory. But they have openly stated that they want 1,200 deportations a day. An absurd number, given that there are barely that many immigrants actually causing crime in America, but I digress. Civil rights groups have denounced this cruelty, and literally every group under the sun. We're already on Human Rights Watch. We're already on a travel warning list for copious nations across the world, which is why our immigration's failing, which is why our ports are empty. Why did I start talking about this? You're probably wondering. Well, it's because of this. This is the reason. Because Elena Garcia, a state senator from Florida, blasts the inhumane immigrant arrests earlier this week. And then, or after that, Ryan Garcia went ahead and made a post on X denouncing this as well. What did he say? These aren't just illegals or statistics, they are people, hardworking immigrants, who pay taxes, raise families, build our communities, and are part of people we love. Ripping them away from their homes is not just policy, it's pain. We can have borders without losing our humanity. And yes, that is true. But we lost our humanity a long time ago. I know, even I have been guilty of just saying or rebuking people, denouncing people for the horrible, disgusting decision they made, entirely based on emotion. It's not just the tariffs. It's not just the fact that he ruined our country's reputation with his idiotic climate control teardowns. or the fact that Doge came in and ruined the regulatory system in the United States. Everything that was inherently good in America, everything that the actual government was doing right, is a target. And that's not even it. It's just the fact that these people are completely incompetent, have no idea how to do these jobs, and are unqualified to even sit in the idea of a position. They shouldn't even be an idea. You've got 33 people in the United States government who were hosts on a freaking news channel that was sued for over $170 million for defamation. And that's just the most recent big lawsuit, bro. Their reliability rating is a 24 out of 64. I don't understand why anybody still watches them. It's because people are dumb. That's an unfortunate reality, but that's why you can't be too rough with them. You just can't be too rough with them. And that's all you're gonna see when you get these little posts like this on X. You're just gonna see, you voted for this. You're an idiot. You deserve everything that happens to you. This is your fault. You caused it. All these people's blood is on your hands. There have been millions of unnecessary deaths across the globe, specifically because of these people's ignorance. And you can say that, and it'll be true, but it's not gonna get us anywhere. Like, what exactly are you hoping to prove? Okay, it's already done. We can't change it by being mean to them. I'm tired of being mean to people, man. If anything, just come on over here, bro. That's the difference between these sides. We don't want them to bend to our will. We don't want them to just follow us and then leave. We just want people to be okay. That's it. We want people to be able to not go into massive credit card debt because of fraud. You want people to not be kidnapped out of their homes, out of their jobs, out of their schools. We want people to not be able to be controlled like slaves in their workplaces. We want people to... What other terrible civil rights? Oh, we want people to be safe in their communities, not having to worry about hate crimes, white supremacist groups, because that hate crime spike is still up, obviously. We just want people to actually be able to live decent lives. That's what equity is about. That is what equity is about. And I don't understand why it's so difficult for people to comprehend this. Like, it's the attachment to this fake, this unrealistic, idealistic concept. I don't really understand what it is. I don't understand what it is these people think is actually going on, or what exactly they think they're moving towards. But I don't have to understand them. I just want them to not die for no freaking reason. That's the only thing that tearing down climate protections, that taking away people's rights is going to lead to. Oh, there's this very specific group of people who is considered subhuman. And because they're subhuman, they don't need due process. Oh, you don't agree with me? You're gonna protest against me? Okay, you're in that group now. Now you're either going to be deported or arrested. Which one do you want? You don't have to be a political science major to know what authoritarianism is. But we have not just been moving towards it for 10 years. It's been a 45-year game, bro. All you have to do is know about the history of the American government and you'll realize just how long this has been happening. It's honestly sad. It is pathetic. And so I understand why people get so angry, but we don't need to push people away. We need to welcome them with open arms. Otherwise, we're not going to get our message across. And we've got to be a lot more aggressive when it comes to recovery. There is no time for liberals. I'm sorry, liberals, but your time has been up for the longest. There is no reason why the right spectrum of America should be moving to the right 3 times more than you are to the left. And that's just the general populace. The government is just full of extremism. There's no such thing as a moderate Republican anymore because they're all supporting the most inhumane, the most disgusting possible rhetoric and policy. It's not policy, it's cruelty. I'm talking at the federal level. I don't care what's happening at the state level. Although at the state level, the welfare states are obviously still dying. Texas, Florida, they have some of the worst policymakers in history. I don't even know how they have such a bolsterous economy. Like, it's honestly just sad. People would rather vote for a rapist than a woman. And then they get surprised. Actually, I can't say they get surprised. They don't know about it. I posted about it. It's one of the few things I have posted because I haven't been that active on social media concerning it. I've been more active in my community trying to find ways to fix it. But in the first 3 weeks, they changed Title 10 to ease restrictions on sexual assault in the schools. I literally posted about that. They made it easier to get away with raping the children. Why? Because that's what happens when you elect rapists into office. And then one of the cabinet members was exposed and arrested as a pedophile. So, I guess we know who wrote that one. I'm sorry. I can't. These are things that I spend a lot of time thinking about, and it really stinks that we even got to this point, or that our government is unwilling to just end the madness and put anyone, I mean literally anybody, who has any actual political experience in this place. Because everyone around the world has rejected their authoritarian wannabe leaders because they see what's happening in the United States. Japan, North Korea, and China, or South Korea and China, have come together against the United States. The Chinese government and the EU is coming together against the United States. We have no allies left. Not even Russia likes us anymore. But Putin is the only one who's willing to talk to Trump because everybody else rejects his rhetoric. He's just trying to copy Putin. He's trying to copy Reagan, two extensively authoritarian leaders. At least Reagan was able to hand over power peacefully, but only to another member of his own party. It's a ridiculous thing. And I know Ronald Reagan Jr. hates Trump and denounces him constantly. You're nothing like my father. My father was... No, he wasn't. I'm sorry. Ronald Reagan Jr. is never going to watch my videos, obviously, but we remember everything that Ronald Reagan did. He was the start of the fall of America. All of his work is coming into fruition right now. That's what happens when you tear down media regulations, attack the education system and the Constitution, ally with authoritarian governments against your own people. Yeah. And again with the stupid plane towers. I'm sorry. I've talked about this before. I cannot stand the fact that Republicans hate planes. Why do they keep doing air-controlled tower? What is with these people and not wanting planes to fly? Do they just not want people to leave? Because you can just say that. Stop taking away the air control tower staff that are already understaffed. That is literally just something that Trump did because Reagan did it. I guarantee it. I don't know. The Heritage Foundation is working towards a complete takeover of the United States, and everybody's just sitting and twiddling their thumbs. Then you've got these people posting on X about it, like that's gonna do anything. But my point is, before I went on a million different tangents, you can't be inclusive and not welcome anybody, and not welcome everybody. If somebody wants to say, hey, this person is objectively evil, and I apologize for voting for them, you shouldn't be like, well, all of this is your fault, you contributed to the pain, you deserve to die. You need to say, okay, I'm glad that you admitted that. What the heck are we going to do about it? Because it's going to take at least 4 to 8 years and trillions upon trillions of dollars to fix all of the damage that he's done to the foundation of the United States to begin with. Whoever comes in next is literally just going to be fixing his mess. That he's not going to be able to get anything done, and he's not going to return to how things were before, because that's not how this works. We're going to have 8 solid years before the pendulum swings back in this direction and we find ourselves in the exact same place. I apologize, but that's just how it's going to go. I'm sorry to say it so candidly to people who have hope that we're going to have time, that there's going to be a big shift. It's not. We will have 8 years to fix all of this and try and make sure that the next person that they throw in does not completely end our democracy. That's what we have to do. We've got to play damage control, bro. And we've got to be very, very intentional, very, very swift and efficient. We have to do the exact same thing that they're doing. Just speed running authoritarianism, but we have to do it in the opposite direction. Speed running democracy, but an educated democracy. We have to speed run a safe democracy that cannot be overthrown by a single man or his band of cronies. Man. Welcome, everyone, to the reality of America. It's pretty grim, but I'm not going anywhere. Scientists have left. Our international students are leaving as well. The most educated people in the United States, like all educated people do when their country is in crisis, are fleeing for bigger and better things in other countries by the thousands. And we're gonna miss them. We need them because they're the smart ones, but they're giving in to their own need for self-preservation and saying, screw all of you guys. So, you just gotta work with what we've got and work and try and be cooperative with everybody else. It may be hard to look at those people who you blame for all of this unnecessary death and suffering, but you're gonna need numbers, regardless of how you feel, to actually make change. They had numbers. They had numbers of people who went out and voted. They had numbers of people who spread hundreds of thousands of inflammatory posts against the Democrats during election time, making up conspiracy theories that aren't even true, because they couldn't find any actual dirt on their opponents. Tampon Tim, oh no! He put tampons in the restrooms, so anybody who needs one can actually have it. Oh! Oh, but this guy? Oh no, he just discriminated against and fired several black people. He just got convicted of 34 counts of felony mishandling of federal documents, putting our entire United States national security at stake. Oh, he's just a rapist. He's just a mass fraudster who's bankrupted six casinos, because he only had one scam nonprofit and one scam school. He's only laundered millions upon millions off the American people through his ridiculous scams, crypto coins, and excessive merch. He only doubled his net worth through the popularity of the presidency because he's never been able to accomplish anything on his own and inherited all of his money from his dad. He's only been explicit in his desire to take over everything. But this guy, he put tampons in the kids' restrooms. Because kids, why do they need any hygiene products? Their parents can buy it for them. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And this lady, what did they even say she did? She's a first-generation immigrant. She's worked in all three sectors of the United States. She went to California and dropped some counties' violent crime rates by 30%. She's got a freaking economics degree. She's literally the most qualified candidate we've ever had for United States president. What did they even say she did? Please tell me. I have no idea what the conspiracy theories were. I can't see them. I don't even have my phone. I can't even see the responses. Whatever they were, they worked. And you've got the buying votes too, but the courts didn't even do anything about that. Like, oh, will you sign this petition to ensure Donald Trump goes back to the presidency? I'll give you money. Oh my god, I'm sorry, it's unbelievable. All of it up to this point is unbelievable. wasn't it Wisconsin that also got sued and fined for their voter fraud in favor of Donald Trump? What about the other 3 swing states? Did they also have massive voter fraud? I said when that happened that there was nothing we could do about it because the election's already over. I don't even understand why they did an investigation. It wasn't. Did they do it just to prove that? No, we already knew the Republicans were gonna use underhanded tactics because that's what they do. But both Garcias, wherever you are, just know that there are many people who are vehemently opposed to the loss of our democracy and the brutalizing of our immigrants, as well as our citizens who happen to hail from other nations, and our students, and our health and medicine sectors, and our climate regulation sector, and the regulatory sector in its entirety. We are tired of criminals who have been convicted of years and years in prison because of their immense money fraud being released from prison. We are tired of people who tried to overthrow the entire Capitol being released from prison. We are tired. Even the black criminals. Why are you releasing people? Stop throwing criminals back into the United States. We do not need them. Leave them in prison. But we don't want our children to be kidnapped and used as bait so we can throw the adults out of frickin' United States. We don't want that. We understand these are people and that they enrich their communities. We don't want them to be gone to begin with. So, how about you guys get your butts in gear and actually try and do something? Yay! We will work with you. They will work with you. Just for God's sake. Just do anything at all. All these Democrats are going to be replaced, by the way. Every single one of them. Because they all suck. You know 75 of them actually voted to thank ICE? That actually happened. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the article. Guys, you think I'm lying. I'm not. I'm legit not. Look at this. Democrats face backlash over vote to express gratitude. A House resolution to express... This is what they're wasting our time on. This is what they're wasting our time and resources on. Thanking the people who are literally going out and kidnapping American citizens. Bro. I am so sad. It's these idiotic freaking votes. I understand that they are expected to be there, even though the Republicans keep throwing out these completely ridiculous resolutions that change nothing, that mean nothing. I understand they're expected to be there, but just because you're expected to be there does not mean you have to vote on it. It definitely doesn't mean you have to vote yes. That's the only freaking point. To say, oh, thank you. Thank you for destabilizing our national security. Thank you so much. Why? And I'm not gonna go ahead and say that they've been doing nothing. 75 Democrats. I'm not gonna say they did nothing because they also had the impeachment proceedings, but obviously it didn't go through. Like, come on, bro. Resolution. Yeah, it's just a resolution. Unfortunate, but it's hopefully getting there. Resolution. Blah 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 blah. Literally all the things that I just named. In fact, I guarantee that they are not. I guarantee that I have said more about the crimes Donald Trump has committed than they have, because for some reason they're always 17 steps behind. It's like the House Democrats don't know what's going on in their own country because they're too busy doing crap like this. They're doing crap like frickin'... Oh, man. Excuse me. I'm gonna go in. Step off. That's literally all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say, anybody who is waking up, come on in here. We welcome you with open arms. Because if we don't, then we're probably all going to end up dying by some ridiculous, innocuous circumstance. Come on in. We welcome everyone. Everybody needs a second chance. Except for the people who are actively ruining the country. Things that the federal government does are not related to you. They will probably hurt you, but you are not the one doing it. So, Elena and Ryan Garcia, unrelated. You're not the ones causing this pain, you just voted for it. And people make mistakes, that is okay. But if you are so against it, I'm gonna need you to step up and do something. Because people like us, at least we're trying to make something happen. That's all I've got to say. You guys are loved, you're appreciated, you're gonna do amazing things. Please, just take care of yourselves. It's rough out here. Delta's out. Peace.